Good morning, everyone. How are you? I'm back. It's so nice to see everyone. Wow. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, August 30th. Oh my goodness, look who I have here. We have Newton here, and hopefully, William, if you see this later today, I know you're busy right now with all the great kids at Boston University. Jacob! Yay, Jacob just came on. Say hi to Jacob and Francie and Jean. Oh my God, it's so great to see everybody. So Newton's here to say hi to William when he watches from Boston University. Okay, say goodbye. I'm going to put him down, Jacob. Sorry about that. I know you want to see him. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hi, Stan. Hillbilly News. Eunice, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to see everybody. Wow. I did it. We did it. We did it. We brought that kid to college. And look what I have to show for it. My Boston University giant cup with my Earl Grey tea in it. Hi, Logan. Hi, friends. Hi, David. Hi, Elisa. So great to see everybody this morning. Oh, my God. Okay. So it's been monumental, huh? Yeah, he has too many busy things to do, like play with the penguin. He does. But he's supposed to be playing with his Boston Terrier, Rhett. But he doesn't seem to be here. I'll throw it to him. Okay. So how are we doing, everybody? How's it going this week for you? So we have Women Crush Wednesday, right? And what I did was I picked an artist that I've been working with for a while. So I think that you're going to enjoy it. But first I want to show you this. As we were saying goodbye to the our kids at Boston University, there was a parent kind of called Parent Pit Stop. Hi, Kathleen. How are you? Hi, Audrey. Audrey, I just answered your email, Facebook to Praxis. I will let you know what the homework is. Don't worry about the video. Okay. So after we say goodbye to our kids, there's this Parent Pit Stop where the dean and one of the deans are there, and one of the deans is there, and we have to just say hello to parents or whatever. And so these are all over. And they're tissue boxes. Notice how mine is not open. And so my husband, Gene, who's on the feed, every time he goes up to the bar, he brings another one of these boxes back to our table. And that's when I started to cry. It's like, if you bring one more back, that's it. So he brought two, one for myself and one for my mother, which she should be on the feed soon. I'm not crying. My eyes are irritated this morning. Actually, now I'm going to need a tissue. Isn't that funny? Oh, my God. Okay, Newton wants his ball. All right, so here we go. There's my mother. My mother's on the feed. Oh, my God, I don't have the music set up. Mom, I was saying that Jean got these tissues for us at Boston University for crying over William leaving. He got one for you and one for me. And I'm not crying over William leaving. My eye is irritated. So sorry about that. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Thomas. So great to see everybody here. So I wanted to look at this artist, Rebecca Riley, who, funny enough, we met when our kids were both in a nursery school program. And she had talked to me, about her artwork, and I went to see it, and I really liked it. And when we first started working together, Maggie, my drop-off was really great. Thank you. You know what? I'll talk a little bit about it for a second before we go to Rebecca. It was really wonderful. And I kind of shifted gears, and I was kind of like, following Facebook and all the moms that I know and talking about their kids leaving. It kind of, what resonated with me was that everybody was kind of talking about how it affected them. And no one was talking about the kids. And I thought within that, that's really interesting. This is all about, and I don't think the moms mean it that way, but it's like, it's all about us. It's all about us, how we're going to cry, how we're going to be upset. wait a minute, this is a huge transition for our kids. And they're still kids. They're bigger, taller than we are, more girth, whatever, but they're still kids, and we need to be there as parents still for them. Is Serena here? Hi, Serena. I'm just talking about drop off. Hi, Mario. And then we'll get to the show. So, thank you, Mario. What happened was I then shifted gears, and the focus was no longer on me. The focus was on Will, and that Jean and I were going, as a family, we're going to do this together and make this successful. Whatever issues are presented, whatever we do, we're going to do it for making this a successful transition for William. And with that notion, I was able to put aside anything that I was feeling, because I can deal with that later. I'm an adult, I'm an adult, and I am a parent. And that was very important. So when we arrive at Boston, immediately this tremendous source of pride and excitement just filled me. I'm just so happy that this is his future right now. Yeah, you're right, Jacob. Moms never retire from being moms. Oh, okay. Serena's in a meeting at school, but she's listening. Okay. And so I'm filled with pride and thinking, wow, he worked so hard to make this his reality and his future. And it's really all of us that are taking part in it. So we ended up just having a great day. We had a great day. We moved in because it's an early move in, and he's doing this program at Boston. Most of the kids will move in next week. So it was an extremely easy move in. I am a champion at setting up a room. It was really something. It was really great. So I'm so excited for him, although he can't wait till school starts. The actual academics, I think the program will be fun. So they're going around Boston today and doing things. So for all the BU kids that are there now, I hope William lets you watch this, but I highly doubt it. Anyway, good luck this year. It's all great. Okay, so hi, Scott. All right, so now I'm done with that. Sorry to bore you. Hi, Gigi. Okay, so Rebecca Riley. I meet Rebecca Riley, and she's a fellow mom in a nursery school that our kids were in. And she's telling me that, she does this work. And she says that her work is a lot about, I'm not even sure Rebecca at this point was telling me what her work was about. But what I did was I went to her studio and I saw her work. And what I found so interesting in her work is that it moved from this kind of abstraction, which she had been playing with, which I think a lot of artists sometimes once they found their voice in figurative or whatever. Hi, Chris. They move to, I've seen a lot of this move to abstraction, but I love that she does the stacks. And I see something here that's really interesting. It's almost like reading between the lines. There's something going on here for me that's very different from just your basic, that's not the right word, but you get what I mean, abstraction, okay? There's obviously a linear quality, but there's something between the lines that's happening, and I find it very interesting. Hi, Charles. So what happens is her work, and I'm seeing this all at the same time, really there's a science element to it. She calls this Big Bang spin, and there's almost a molecular level to it. Again, we're dealing in abstraction, but it becomes something so much more than that in these kind of, I'm going to use the term now and then you'll see later, these fractals or these small molecules and pieces. And I remember at the time I was talking to, I can't remember which art critic, art historian, phenomenal guy. And he said to me, yeah, that we call that microspace. I'll think of his name, I'll post it because you all know him. And I thought, this is so interesting. So this women delving in science, and we're talking about now at about 2003, this notion of microspace, small areas. And I see that this, it feels like this is going to become something really important or interesting to me. That's different from other pieces that I'm looking at. Hi, Mark. So this is earlier. This is Wave. So she had a series Stacks, Wave, and then again she goes to the Big Bang. But look at this too in juxtapose. Well, again, we have abstraction here, but there's something happening kind of within this circular movement, within the linear movement. Hi, Raymond. Something is just there's something different, and I become very interested in it. But there's not a lot of work that she has available. Here's another one. I didn't give an attribute to it. Multiple pathways. And you can see a little bit of the change, right? You see now this kind of snake-like line. But we've started with a line and kind of with a molecule, let's say. Okay, so then the work, we have multiple pathways. We have more of this. And you see these kind of bursts, and there's a real science feel to this. Wouldn't you say that? I'd like to hear what everybody has to say. Oh, thank you, Stan. I'm glad you find the work inspiring. So let's go to, here's a piece I found interesting, Butterfly. And the work is becoming, hi Raymond, more and more detailed. It's becoming more almost microscopic in the sense that you really go into it even further. She has delved into that kind of micro space further and further, which I really love. But at the same time, it becomes, there's something that's also, and I want to use the right word because I don't want it to be a criticism necessarily, but there's something that's so complete in it, that are so tight and so almost like the Big Bang that you did, almost ready to burst. And yet it stays composed and it stays tight, but there's this push and pull element, I feel, of this energy that kind of goes both inward with the butterfly and outward, but it stays contained. That's what I want to say. Okay, so I think you're going to find the transition now very, very interesting. But for that, here's one of my favorite paintings from this series, where now we have all of this broken up. Yeah, it's very intense, right, Serena? I have yet to place this piece. And yeah, it's atoms, right? It's like atoms. Raymond, sorry about that. I love this piece. This is one of my favorite pieces. It is quite large. I've shown it several times. I have yet to place it, but that doesn't mean anything to me because I know that it could take years, but I will find the right home for it. I absolutely will. The reason it hasn't been placed is it has not found the right fit. The people I've shown it to may have liked it, but they didn't love it like you should really love a piece of art. You know, you should really love it so much. Yeah, I think this is gorgeous color too. Audrey says, these pieces have a unique vibrational energy, yes, to them. And I would think that they are two different experiences when viewing close up and standing back. Absolutely, Audrey. Absolutely. It's that great comment. It's that kind of vibration that happens. And in this piece, and it's not the best picture, but there's something so soft and elegant about it with the pinks and the yellow, but again, it still kind of vibrates. But we'll find the right place for it. I always do. So then the work starts to change a little bit, and she starts thinking about maps. Now, isn't this interesting? We've gone from the stacks, the Big Bang, the multiple pathways, and maps. And as I look at it in hindsight, it feels so logical. But how could you couldn't even, I would have never seen this. I remember the day she came to me I was in my gallery on Madison Avenue, and she said, I'm starting to look at maps, and I'm really interested about drawing and painting on maps. And I was like, wow, I couldn't even see what she was thinking about at the time. But let's see who else we have there. Brian? Hi. Maggie says, love the yellow and pink together. You know what? So do I, Maggie. So do I. Do you have a detailed image of any of these? Yes, Chris, I will put up detailed images for you. Good question. Okay, so this is the map of New York City. And is this oil on canvas? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I have two things. I have that it's oil on canvas and it's acrylic. I have to fix that. It is not oil on canvas. It's acrylic on map on paper. And so what she's looking at is she's now, as you can see, breaking down this grid that is New York City into microspace. Raymond, that's that atom connection, right? The microspace, which I love, because what we're looking at here is a way an artist is seeing the world now. Her work, and I'm sure yours too, all of you, is about the way she sees the world, and she puts it literally that way. So now we have this, we did a show called 75 Mile Radius. This was the main piece in the show. It sold immediately. And she was looking at that 75-mile radius of New York and the East Coast, where kind of the center of news happens, that kind of, I guess, bubble that we all talk about. So this is an antique map, which is really beautiful. She starts to look at antique maps. Good morning, Saeed. It's so nice to see you here this morning. And I just love the way these antique maps look. And in the background, you could see on the blue, this is all painted. And so she's making these connections all around. And let me show you what happens next. Love this map. Baghdad. Now these maps, hi Robert, so nice to see you. Robert, are you in Paris? Are you joining us from Paris with that gorgeous family of yours? So this is Baghdad. So what she's doing now is she's finding as many maps as she can. It's very hard to get maps now. She's going to Rand McNally, that's who it is, Rand McNally, and trying to buy maps directly from them, because now she wants to work specifically on these maps, which oh, you're in New York City, great, which I really love what she's done. But what strikes me so much, and obviously she's looking at Baghdad at a particular time, right, in our history. What strikes me is when I speak to her, what she's learned from the maps. She can look at a map and tell you basically the demographic of an area. She can tell you the struggle of the people in a particular place or the ease of their lives. And now I'm so taken with this notion, and it becomes very reminiscent for me of Guns, Germs, and Steel. Oh, okay. Please tell me who wrote the book. Everybody write it there, because he's an amazing author. And where he talks about this notion of the Fertile Crescent, and it's kind of the luck of the draw. If you are born in a particular area, you have an ease of evolution and just an easier life. But it is the luck of the draw. It has nothing to do with who we are as people. If anybody can remember the Guns, Germs, and Steel author, I know Jean does. And so as she's looking at these maps, she is seeing, I asked her, what is it that you see, especially in the Nigeria map? Yes, Jared Diamond, thank you so much. And I will post the Nigeria map after. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Taro. And in the Nigeria map, she said it's just the amount of, I guess, the thickness you could see of the forest, the lack of roads, the lack of infrastructure, that you could see how difficult the life could be, as opposed to something like Paris map. Or, yeah, I just want difficult or just different, right? I want to say. So this Paris map. Look at this. This was the second map to sell. Hi, Roger. How are you? Good morning from Bangkok, huh? Nice to see you. So this Paris map is just, it's Paris, right? Robert, it's Paris. And it's beautiful. This was the second map to sell. And then this map was in the show too, 75-mile radius. This map I could have sold 10 times over. But we only do one. So, in thinking about where we're going to go with all this, because that's my job, right? My job as the curator, as the dealer, the gallerist, I love this. She starts making composite maps, right? She starts just putting maps together in a different way and creating now what she is thinking about as this lack of borders. What if there weren't these natural borders that the world, these maps have demarcated or indicated, or we have indicated, or however the borders are created, right, in each society. And she starts to put together her own maps, and I find that very interesting. And so from my way of thinking, I'm thinking, okay, so as a dealer, as a curator, at this point I have the Flatiron. Where could this go? And I met with her and I said to her, I'd really like to show your work at the Flatiron. I'd like to show these maps. And how do you think we can do that? Because remember, this is all flat on the wall. And she says, I don't know, what do you think we're going to do? And I said, well, I'd like to think about getting them off the wall and hanging them. And again, I'm mindful she's not an installation artist, but that's not what I'm looking for at the Flatiron. I'm looking for something that I really love to show. Hi, Myron. And really creating an environment that's different to show. And so we come up with this show. And we name it Random Land. And although I'm not sure about the name of it, but that's okay. What she does is she breaks down all the maps off the wall and we hang them. And what I love about the show is that it really then becomes about not knowing. You cannot tell when you look at the Flatiron here what map is what country you're from. You have no idea. And what happens, because it is the Flatiron, and we have it's like one of the number one attractions for architecture and buildings. You have so many tourists coming, and to watch people look at the maps really in depth. So this is one of the first shows we have where it's both a monumental feel, as you saw from here. Let me transition that. Wait a minute. Right? You see it all the way across the street and you get the full expanse of it. But then when you come up close, the level of detail is tremendous. So you have that going and it's really amazing. Yeah, stunning shot from the Flatiron. That's Richard Kranzler. Isn't that wonderful, Audrey? Thank you. And it's 24/7, just people looking. And I'm wondering, hi Susan, I'm wondering if they're looking at trying to find out where they're from, trying to see the map in relationship to themselves. A lot of people realize that, wait, this looks like where I'm from, but it's not where I'm from. What's different here? And it's stunning in that way because it is Random Land. And in many ways, she created her own map of the world. And so people ask to really come inside, to talk to the artist. And we used to have this platform. And so they had these lights on it like this. And the lights naturally worked kind of as, first of all, to light up from the bottom, but also as kind of these globe shapes. And people want to come in and kind of walk between the maps, because on one side is the map out to Broadway, the hanging out to Broadway. The other side is the hanging out to Fifth Avenue, and then there's a walk through. And it was really something I did not expect. I did and I didn't expect. I wanted to show you one from the front, but I don't have it. I'm sorry. I did and I didn't expect the reception that we got. We ended up in Travel and Leisure magazine, ended up with, oh God, so much press. And then also Agnes Gunn, the amazing Agnes Gunn, former president of MoMA, bought work. And, you know, Agnes has a tremendous eye. And when you're in Agnes's collection, that's a great thing. And so there's also a map in the front facing forward, and I will post that after. So then after this, remember how we talked with Lin Yan last week, and we talked about how the flat iron or any installation that an artist does, or anything that an artist does, it informs the next. So after this, I'm thinking, I can't wait to see how Rebecca's work is informed now. Where will she go? So Lynn, you may remember, and if not, you can go back to that video of Lin Yan from last Wednesday. Lynn really took her work off the walls and the paper and hangings and ceiling hangings and now lights, lighting it and stuff. And it went bigger and it hangs even more, and it's more installation than it ever was. Interestingly enough, Rebecca goes here. And that's why I mentioned fractals in the beginning, because this is like fractals. She completely cuts up the maps now. And she's making almost 3D topographic, am I correct here, my science people? Topographic maps of almost like seeing mountain ranges and such. And so I have not shown this work yet. Other galleries have. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Baskin. I'm sorry. And it's just, it's another kind of look at her work and at the world from the way she sees it. So if we look at this, let's go back. She started here and here and here. And then here. And then Paris, right? In our 75-mile radius to Baghdad and beyond, to the Flatiron. And I love that the Flatiron for the artist, this major installation, is not the end-all be-all. It's just part of the journey. And that's so great. And so now she's recently had a really good show, and I'll post where. And I'll post her website for you too, because it's a really great website. I love Rebecca's website. It is so easy to find all the information I need immediately. And so then now we're here. And I think that that's an amazing journey. And I think that she keeps herself open to all the different aspects of what is next. Yeah, I love seeing her transformation too. And you know what's interesting about a transformation? It's like if you're with a gallery or you work with, I'm a hybrid right now, right? I have the Flatiron, I curate. I'm about to do another deal with kind of gallery in which I'll have, I think, 3 spaces to curate. So I'm a hybrid, so I don't even, but for my artists that have worked with me for a long time, if they come upon a new concept or just, along their path, and it's not something that I'm necessarily, or I'm not sure it's right, or it doesn't matter. You have to have that faith in the artist and stay with them. And stick with them, because maybe where they are at that moment, the work isn't ready to show, or maybe it whatever it is, it's still always evolving and changing and staying the same as we talked about. But you stay with them, and you there's a commitment there that's really important. That through that journey, there's that kind of safe space in which the artist can really work and not feel like, oh God, the dealer might not like this, and she liked my other better, and now you don't want to be in that position. I love that thank you, Patty, very much. Yeah, I tell you, I do see it, and I'm not going to name names. I would never do that, but there are major galleries that people, when an artist goes into them, they are so happy. They feel like, I've arrived, I'm saved, and yet then they'll be painting the same thing over and over again because that dealer is looking at what sells and not necessarily the growth of the artist. And, sometimes you have to pick and choose, and you have to find what works best for you. So anyway, on this Women Crush Wednesday, I want to thank you all for your tremendous support of my journey with William. And it really helped me. I want you to know that. And I'm so excited for his new life. And I'm so excited to go to Boston. I want to do some smart starts from Boston and from the museum there. And for this Women Crush Wednesday, I think that we really see an amazing journey of an artist, and her work continues. I'll keep you updated on it, and we're all on a journey, right? And it's all good. So I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday. I will see you back here on Thursday for tomorrow. I think I may be on Cheddar this week. I have to figure that out. But I'll keep posting things on here, the details that people ask me for and some other images. Oh, thank you, Audrey, thank you. Thank you, Mom. Women Crush Wednesday. We love it. Hi, Peter. Hi, Colin. How are you? And I'll post Rebecca's website. It's a great website. It's simple. Keep it simple. Okay, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. And William, bye.